Hey, what's up guys? This is Cameron from Hatfield Underworld Explorers. Today I'm in Cave Country Dive Shop and I'm going to show you what gear I use for cave exploration. Alright guys, this is my Dive Right Nomad Ray. This is my side mount harness that I use. It has a little fabric. It does pretty good withstanding the rock. It also has a little shield back there to protect the bladder. I upgraded this a little bit. I bought some UK hardware. I was given some UK hardware. I didn't buy it. I would buy it though. Excellent quality. I like this one. You have the top dump right here, side dump right here. Next I'm going to show you my primary light. A Dive Right FX40. It has a 4-degree spotlight with an excellent amount of spillage. My next backup light is a Dive Right CX3. This is a really good light too. It is, I think, around 2,000 lumens. It doesn't have as tight as the light as my primary light, but it still has an excellent amount of spillage. And it also has magnetic charging. That is definitely a big pro of this light. My third and final light is this Kraken 1000. It's an NR 1000. It is like 50 bucks, but I trust it. It's been reliable. It comes with a 18650 battery, so it's a rechargeable battery. Kraken has it where you can recharge it with USB-C straight into the battery, which is pretty nice. You don't have to have an extra charging thing for this. Power it on, you just hold the button, turns on. Again, the light is not as powerful as the FX40 or the CX3, but this will still be excellent light for an exit out of a cave dive. My favorite piece of equipment actually, and probably the best piece of equipment I have, is the Shearwater Perdex. This is the Perdex 2. Yeah, this is the Perdex 2 or 3. I think it's a 2. It's got haptics, so it kind of tells you it'll vibrate on you and stuff. This is probably the most advanced dive computer on the market. You can do any level of diving. You can also do CCR bailout, so it's not hardwired in. You can't monitor your gas when you're CCR diving, but it will be a bailout computer for CCR diving. If you are CCR diving, you have to either use a Nerd, one of Liberty's computers, or maybe the Petrol. Shearwater has the best service on the market. I can call Divetronics and they will overnight me a new computer while I send them this computer. The best on the market. Nobody's even close. So now I'm going to show you all my regulators I use for scuba diving and cave exploration. Right now I'm using the Halcyon regulators. This is the H75P. This is my transmitter for the Shearwater computer, which transmitters are far superior than SPGs, and I will argue that. In fact, there's been some data put on it, so I am backed by science. Anyway, so the regulators are very nice. They breathe well. My only complaint about them is so this is your first stage regulator. It takes the pressure of your tank, normally around 3,000 psi, to intermediate pressure, about 150 psi. We can't really breathe 150 psi, so you need a second stage on your regulator. This breaks it down to something breathable. My only complaint is it breathes really nice. It's a little too big. So especially in side mount, you want to be able to swap regs single-handedly. This makes it kind of hard. Even when people have larger hands, it's kind of big to do a single-handed swap. In technical diving or cave diving, cave exploration, we use what we call technical diving fins. These fins are a little more rigid, and these fins help us do frog kicks. We don't do any flutter kicks in this kind of diving, so you don't need a fin that flops around like a loose noodle. Anyway, so the Dive Right XT fins are great fins. They're very rigid, and they're a little bit longer than what some people like, but I really love these fins. They're very good.
You like them because they're long and stiff, is what you're saying.
Long and stiff is why I like them. What I don't like is Dive Right. I mean, you fix this because you've known about this issue for the last 30 years. When you put your foot inside this fin, you go for a dive, and at the end of the dive, when you want to get out of the fucking water, your foot gets suctioned in here. And it's something wrong with the design. Maybe they need some more holes right here or something like that, but your foot will get stuck in here, so you have to step on it and pull your foot out. Other than that, this is a great fin. The next piece of equipment I'm going to show you is our backpack. It was donated to us from Santa Fe Pond by Kenny. So we're going to use this. We're going to use this to mount our tanks to. So when we're hiking through the woods and stuff like that, it makes it easier so we don't have to carry the tanks with our hands. This is going to come in so clutch, I think. So We haven't used it yet. We're gonna use this soon. Thanks for donating it, Kitty. This is Cameron Mahaffey with Underworld Explorers, the last year's Explorer of the Year, drinking prime hydration drinks. This keeps me exploring and keeps me safe. Exploration reel. This holds about 1,000 feet of line. I think they call it 900, but I have a little bit skinnier line than what they provide for the factory, so it holds probably 1,000 to 1,100. The reason we use line in cave diving, think about it, do we need line to go into a cave? No, you absolutely do not. You need line to get out of the cave, right? A lot of these, they're just not a single passage, they're complex. So you have passages that go different ways, and it's a good way to get lost. This line gives us our guide out, right? Anyway, so yeah, this is my exploration reel. I left it in a cave one time. My friends found it for me. I was missing it. They left me a little note, so I won't forget. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all what tanks I use. Typical tanks we use in scuba diving are the aluminum 80s. These are aluminum, so they're rated for lower pressure. Typically, you fill them up to around 3,000 psi. They're aluminum 100, so you can fill it to 3,300 psi, but it's a little different, a little more rare, more annoying. This is our doubles tanks. The tanks we use in tech diving. The tanks we use in tech diving, in this kind of diving, is typically PST 104s is the preferred tank. They're God's tanks, is what they're called. Excellent tanks, and that's these right here. In fact, I think these are here from the 70s or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, follow me in side mount diving. We typically use, you see me with a couple different size tanks, right? Typically it'd be the low pressure 85s. Low pressure meaning we use them at 2,640 psi. Why would we do that? Why would we prefer that over high pressure tanks? Well, I'm not giving advice right now, but we do jack them up quite a bit. So at 85, at 2,640 psi, they're at 85 cubic feet, plus or minus a little. When we take them to 3,600, they're 115 cubic feet and a very small package. So that's why we do that. Not recommended. Do not do what we do here. And then I also got some low pressure 50s. These are my, they call it FAFO tanks. Mess around, find out tanks. They're very small and they're very easy to move around and stuff, and these hold 50 cubic feet. These are also low pressure tanks. So I have my deco cylinder here. So this has 100% oxygen in it. It is an apex regulator, which I hate. These little things chew up my little baby fingers and I do not like it. But I've had it and I haven't had it service it in 6 years of diving now, or 5 years of diving, however long it's been. So it's actually a pretty good regulator. This is an aluminum 40. It holds 40 cubic feet at 3,000 psi. Now I want to show you all my dry suit. It is a DUI FLX Extreme. Over here. This is an awesome dry suit. It's a tri-laminate dry suit versus the neoprene dry suit. It's got some really tough fabric on it. Doesn't tear easily. I do a lot of crazy things with these, dropping pits and etc. Go through major restrictions. Never a scratch on them. It has Kevlar knee pads. So when I'm on my knees praying the cave god to give me another virgin cave, I have the knee pads. I have silicone wrist seals. I have a latex neck seal. The silicone neck seals on the DUI suits are way too long. I don't know who they designed these for, maybe a giraffe, but the latex ones are shorter with a normal neck. And then I have my backup suit right here. The only bad thing about these suits, they come with this dump valve right here. It's not very good. It's the worst dump valve I've ever used, actually. It leaks. Both of my suits, when I first got them, they leaked immediately, right? So I did upgrade to this contaminated water valve. It has your outside diaphragm like this one does, but then on the inside, it's got another diaphragm on this side too. So it's a dual diaphragm system. Ideally, it keeps out contaminated water or all water when you're going through nasty restrictions with sand. But anyway, that's my dry suit. They're freaking awesome. Highly suggest these dry suits. All right, now I'm going to show you all my arrows, cookies, and rims. They are used for marking directions or marking places of interest inside the cave. I have lost all my arrows right now because my little cookie holder broke. But right now I have cookies from my buddy Zach. He made these Mahaffey cookies for me. They're freaking awesome. He 3D printed them. They've lasted pretty while. And then my buddy Jeff made these Cameron Mahaffey Underworld Explorers rims. These are directional, non-directional markers. So if I lay the marker down, they tell me a direction, but they're to be ignored by everybody else inside the cave. All right, this is Cameron Mahaffey with Underworld Explorers. Chris Brown, thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next one.